Be positive, and make sure again that you know that make sure you reinforce the fact that your family is key to everything.
Welcome to Cards and Constellations with Bonnie Morris and Don Rumor Rivera from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Here, we blend astrology and tarot to guide you through the twists and turns for the week ahead. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share. Let's dive into your cosmic journey together.
We start with the moon. This is the week of August 4th through the 10th. The moon this week on the 9th is full at 16 degrees of Aquarius. Now we need to back this up and find the new moon in Aquarius, which occurred February 9th of 2024 at 20 degrees. Then on November 8th of 2024, we had the first quarter moon where you did all the work for this project. And that occurred at 17 degrees of Aquarius. Now we're at the full moon where you can see everything. And if there's anything that needs to be changed or tweaked, now is the time to do it. And then pivot, turn away, and wait for the last quarter, which occurs on May 9th of 2026 at 19 degrees of Aquarius. And that's when we celebrate the success, turn away, and allow the project to move on its own. Next, we want to look at the void, of course. This begins August 5th at 8:28 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And it starts at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. And then at 10:04 a.m., it enters Capricorn and the void ends. Wow, 2-hour void. That's normal. Next, we go to August 26th at 10:59 a.m. The void, of course, begins at 12 degrees of Capricorn. This continues until August 7th at 6:18 p.m. when it enters the sign of Aquarius. On August 9th at 54 minutes past midnight, the void, of course, begins at 16 degrees of Aquarius. Later that day, at 11:50 p.m., the void ends as the moon goes into Pisces. Now, on the last day of this week, August 10th, no, let's change that to the last few minutes of the last day of this week. At 11:54 p.m. on August 10th, at 13 degrees of Pisces, we start a void, of course. This lasts for 2 days. This does not stop until August 12th at 3:33 a.m.
Thank you, Ms. Bonnie, for that general understanding of astrology for the week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you tarot real quick, and then Ms. Bonnie will come back and finalize things with her astrology for your specific sign. So let's get to it. Well, Virgo, let's take a look at your tarot, see what it says. Then we're going to take a peek at Miss Bonnie's specific astrology for your sign, and then we'll come back together to see where the two blend or if they deviate. With that said, let's get going. Here we go, Virgo. Virgo, your energy for the week is a 4 of Wands. I love the energy. Before I get to your energy, let's take a peek on the bottom of the deck. That's the energy of your environment. What is happening to either help you or to hinder you this week in your environment? Ooh, Tower card, change card. Ooh, loaded. This is going to be a week of change. Change that is out of your control. This is going to be a week of a lot of emotional upheaval, a lot of movement, those kind of things. And so when that's happening, make sure you understand that it isn't the change that's necessarily bad. It isn't the change that's necessarily good. And you can't control it no matter what. But what you can do is figure out where the change is happening, how it's happening, who it's impacting, and then figure out how you can advantage yourself by maneuvering properly through it. Again, change should not be feared if you are skilled enough to understand how to use it to your advantage, either good or bad. When it comes to the movement, it doesn't matter. It's how you can maneuver it to work to your advantage that works best for you. So please keep that in mind. And that's your environment this week. A lot of upheaval and change. Now, your energy is that 4 of Wands. And so the 4 of Wands is one of that's home and hearth energy. It's more of a stability. It's a balance issue. So this is a week of finding balance, a week of staying balanced. and a week of making sure that we don't really push beyond our safety zone. Okay. And I will say that specifically because of that change card, which concerns me a little bit, with the change card and you don't know what's happening, the best thing to do is make sure that you're staying on solid ground. The next card out is a Palace of Wands. I'm loving it. The Palace of Wands is again about business, it's about work environment. And again, there's maybe changes going on in the work environment, again, so beyond your control. And this is saying that you're fine, you'll be fine there. And also this is saying work on the home. So this is not a week to go out and do something new. This is not a week to start something. This is not really the energy of a week to create something that hasn't happened before. This is not a week to go someplace you haven't been before. Really, this isn't a good travel week. This isn't a good week to get beyond your home. This is more of an internal week. So kind of draw in a little bit this week. Even though I get the emotional energy is strong, I'm getting the feeling though that you need to pull back a little bit and you need to make sure that the home is good. Is your relationship good? And have you asked your significant other? Is it good? Is it good? Is it good? Have you talked to your kids, your grandkids? Have you made that good? If you have kids and grandkids, again, is that good? How about your friends? Have you connected with your friends recently? Have you found out how they are? Are you missing something? Sometimes in the summer months they get scattered and go on vacations and stuff. Maybe they need a phone call. Maybe they need an email. Maybe they need a text and say, hey, what you up to? Haven't talked to you in a few weeks. What's going on? Follow through, tap in, get connected. Make sure that you're reinforcing your nest. Okay, which again is what we're talking about here. Make sure you're reinforcing that nest. Make sure that you are, that you're stepping up, that you're showing up for everybody other and not just your family. Again, your friends are important. Next card out, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, I'm loving that energy. Ace of Cups is saying, hey, if you, because of this week and because of all the change, again, the comfort is knowing you have a safe, beautiful home and a wonderful family and that kind of stuff. Put that work in and so forth. And as this change comes through, you're going to see that you're going to be happy with how it has impacted you. But how to impact you is super important because you're not emotionally drained by it because, again, you're happy at home. You're not financially drained because you're good at home. I'd make sure I'd be looking at my budget. Is my budget good? This is a time to pay attention to your expenditures. This is a time to pay attention to, are your kids ready for school if you have kids and they're ready for school and they're school age? Are you ready for that time of the year? Are you ready for everybody coming back from vacation? Are you ready for people getting back to life again in the fall? Again, fall's coming right around the corner. Or if you're getting ready to go for your last summer vacation, if you're getting ready to go right before the fall hits on that vacation, are you ready? Did you do all the planning? Do you have a car lined up? Do you have a hotel lined up if that's what you're going to do? Do you have flights lined up? Are you renting a car and traveling? Do you know which route you're taking? How many days you're going to stay? Did you line up a dog sitter or did you line up somebody to take care of your loved ones with the paws, the fur babies, shall we say? Again, there are many things here. So pay attention to the home and hearth this week and the rest will fall into place. And I love this here, Temperance card. Just make sure that, again, peace and tranquility and chill at home. And if you have a happy home and a happy life, you're going to be fine. Okay. And then ultimately, the last one is a Strength card. You got this. So again, don't panic over the changes. Don't fuss about the changes. Newness is on the horizon. Again, something's been there, but newness is on the horizon. And that newness is really going to be, I think, good for you. So hang in there, stay tight, be positive, and make sure, again, that make sure you reinforce the fact that your family is key to everything. And if your home life is good, then you're good. All right. Let's see what Miss Bonnie has to say. Hopefully astrology will do this too, because this is a good reading, by the way. This is a very positive reading, but this is just a reminder that sometimes we need to remember that our home life is more important than all the rest. When your gravestone is not going to say he worked until he was 95 years old. It's going to say beloved father, beloved mother, beloved, whoever. The point is it's going to have a connection to family, not to the job necessarily. Okay. All right. With that said, I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Bonnie and see what her astrology has to say. Then we'll get back together to close this up.
Virgo, you really need to work on getting out of your head. I'm seeing an opposition between Mercury and Pluto. That's between your thoughts and communication, technology, and change. Something needs to change here. Then we have an opposition that we've been dealing with for quite a while between Mars and Saturn. So feeling restless and the need to assert yourself and the planet of restriction and lessons are conflict between ambition and limitations that are perceived. You may have a thriving enthusiasm to start a project. However, as quickly as that enthusiasm came on, it can leave. Build inner strength. Learn to trust. There is a capacity to overcome these obstacles here. You develop your perseverance and your confidence. Mercury is going conjunct with the sun. This is a union of the mind and identity and creates quick thinkers and expressive communicators. There's creativity and curiosity here, and a strong focus on ideas and self-expression. On Tuesday, we still have that kite leading us towards Saturn. That's the kite we had at the end of last week, headed towards Pluto, only it's dissolving and turning into a mystic rectangle. For the most part, that's harmonious energy. However, there are two oppositions. A domestic rectangle midweek. We see Jupiter go opposite of the moon. So you've got your feelings and all of this growth and opportunity, luck and good fortune playing tug of war.
Well, Virgo, looks like astrology had the same kind of message. There's a little deviation, but the most important thing astrology said is don't start something new. This is not the week to do it. This is a week to go along with what's happening and just keep fortifying. And also that emotional tug. Did you get some of that about that emotional tug at the beginning of the week and into the midweek? And that end of that double kite at the end of the week, again, you got some situations going on that are, again, pulling you on very many with levels that you don't control. But the most important thing is it's just stay strong, stay to it. Don't start something new, and make sure that your family is taken care of, and you then will be happy. With that said, please hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow button. I would appreciate it. If you're on Sonora Mystic Tarot already, please hit that subscribe, then pop over to Your Love Goddess, which is Miss Bonnie's channel, and hit that one. If you're on her side, then please go to Sonoran Mystic Tarot and hit that subscribe. And if you're so inclined, go to Cards and Constellations and do the same there. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing week. And again, don't start something. Not this week. Bye.